My dad 50M didn't come to see me 22F when I was dying. How can I forgive him? I 22F was hospitalized on Saturday due to an infection that went ignored by doctors. I didn't realize how sick I was until my mom 50F, who I was supposed to have been seeing for lunch on Saturday, insisted that I needed to see a doctor and took me to the ER where it turned out that I was septic. If she hadn't done that, in all likelihood I would be dead right now. My dad 50M is currently on a business trip and was informed by my mom of how bad my blood work looked the second I was taken in. He just texted me and said, "I'm sorry you're feeling so sick." At that point, I didn't realize how sick I was because I think the nurses didn't want to tell me anything that would panic me more because I was already freaking out. I haven't ever been hospitalized before this, so I had just been crying since the moment I was admitted, but I was still hurt that he wasn't even calling. I told him I wished he was there, but he said he was just really busy with work. I kept getting worse. They decided I needed surgery, had to transfer me to a different hospital via ambulance, and started having to give me a lot of pain meds, and I was attached to an antibiotic drip for days. My dad called me for about 30 minutes on the second day I was there before I was admitted to surgery, but didn't say much other than he hoped it went well. Once I was out of surgery and stable, one of my nurses sat down and talked through everything with me, and that's when things sunk in how close I had been to dying. Obviously now I am okay, but I think even just realizing that I had a near-death experience after the fact is gonna fuck me up for a while. What really upset me is that my dad wasn't there. My mom told him I was septic, and he didn't immediately tell his boss he needed to be on a flight. He stayed on his stupid business trip, and I could have died without having seen my dad for weeks. And frankly, I don't even think it should have mattered if I was fully septic. I'm his only daughter, and I was hospitalized and in the most pain I've ever been in my life, and all I wanted was a hug from my dad, and he wasn't there. I got discharged from the hospital, but I will be staying with my mom for about a week, so she can help me recover because my body is wrecked. I can hardly stand for 5 minutes without feeling out of breath. I texted my dad last night that him not even attempting to be there, or even getting here after the surgery to comfort me, literally anything, really hurt, and that him doing that has broken some of the trust one had for him. He just said, "I didn't mean to hurt your feelings." It's like he really doesn't get how bad he fucked up. I don't know how I'm supposed to move on. I don't even want to talk to him. I love my dad so much, and he's never let me down like this. But this is the worst possible thing he could have let me down on. I don't know what to do. Too long did not read. My dad chose not to come home from a work trip while I was about to die from sepsis, and I want to forgive him, but I don't know how. The only thing I can think of that makes sense would be he legitimately didn't understand the severity of the situation. But I feel you OP so hard. I was hospitalized in my 20s with a severe blood clot in my leg, and my mom didn't come to the ER because she had lunch plans. She wasn't even on a trip. She was 20 minutes away. And I was her only child. It was super cool. Hey, I don't have advice around your dad, but I would get in contact with some sepsis organizations. I had it in 2020, and it's very common to develop mental health issues following sepsis, including PTSD. I had nightmares for a long time. And I don't want to upset you, but I want you to have realistic expectations that it will likely take you a lot longer than a week to recover physically. It took me about 6 months before I felt like my old self. Maybe 3 weeks before I could walk around the block, etc. Just sharing this so you aren't further alarmed in a couple of weeks' time when / if you're still feeling off. It's a huge thing to recover from. As to getting over it, I'm not sure you do. I'm a grown-ass woman, but after a close call almost killing myself and my newborn with very bad PPD, both my parents, the ones who said things like, "Family is always there for each other," just went okay. See you later then. That was in 2017, and I'm still in therapy for that time in my life. I think that moment was the linchpin in our relationship and eventual estrangement. It was the moment that showed me that actually, I'm not real family because they couldn't be bothered to help me. So I'm not sure you do get over it. Therapy for sure. I'm glad your mom was there. Sadly, a lot of people realize as young adults that while their dad undoubtedly loves them, he sees the hard parts of caring and being a parent as the mom's job. And then realize that part of that expectation on their mom also includes having to hide from their kids that their dad doesn't prioritize them the way she does. It takes something huge like this to make all this obvious. I'm so sorry that he compartmentalized your terrifying health crisis like this in order to not let it affect what he wanted to do. You have every right to be very disappointed and hurt. I think some therapy would definitely help you, not just for this, but because what you went through was very serious. X. First and foremost, I am so glad your mother took you to the ER, and you are on the road to recovery. Second, your dad really let you down. The one person who is supposed to make you feel safe didn't show up. You have every right to be upset, hurt, and angry. My only thought is there something else going on that prevented your dad from coming home? Even his text MSGS sounded weird. Is his job/company in jeopardy? Are he and your mom having problems? Does he not have the money for the trip home? Based on your post, something just feels off with your dad. I hope you recover quickly and return to good health soon. I'm sorry you felt that way, isn't a real apology. Get an explanation. Broke up with boyfriend, 31/M, because felt like third wheel to him and his roommate, 30/F. Long, first post ahead, so bear with me. I, 35F, had been in a relationship with W, 31M, for a little over a year. For the most part, we had a pretty good relationship, and had even discussed the possibility of marriage/having kids in the future. A few months ago, W was informed he would have to move out of his then home he shared with 2 roommates. Due to unforeseen circumstances, his roommates needed to move out of state, and W would not be able to afford to rent the house by himself. Although we hadn't been together a full year yet, I offered to let W move in. I own my home and have plenty of space. He responded by telling me, thank you, and he would consider it, but was looking into other options. One option was moving in with his female friend A30F, he's known since high school. I never met her since she wasn't part of his core friend group. So that gave me pause at first, but I decided to let it go. I didn't want to pressure him to moving in with me if he wasn't ready, and I really wanted to trust him. Fast forward and W moves in with A. I finally meet her, and we get along pretty well. She's a bit awkward, and doesn't really have any friends except W. At first everything was fine, but then I started noticing things were getting weird. The first instance took place on W and I's first anniversary. We had made plans to go to dinner and hit up a few stores, nothing fancy, but just spending time together. The evening before, W sends me a text asking if A could come along with us. TBH, I really should have drew the line and established a boundary right there, but I didn't want to be in a hole. So I said yes. The next day, I picked them both up from their place. A doesn't drive and W doesn't use his car much due to an expired tag. They ask if we can stop by a home decor store so they can buy decorations for their house, and to a clothing store so they can pick out some outfits. I obliged. A red flag went up for me when A picked up a dress and asked what we thought. While I just told her I thought it was cute, W suggested that it would look good on her if she paired it with fishnet stockings and heels, something I know for a fact he has a fetish with, and has admitted it was a major turn-on for him. Again, I didn't say anything, but took note. After we hit up a few stores, I dropped A off. W and I ended up picking up a pizza and going back to my place to watch Netflix. That was our anniversary. Over the next few weeks, things are going okay between W and I, but I do notice A seems to text him excessively. One night I stayed with West over at their place while A was at a relative's. During this time, A had sent him several texts and voice messages throughout the night asking what he was doing and if I was over. Again, weird, and another red flag went up. This past weekend was the turning point. W and I made plans on spending the day together shopping for a couple's Halloween costume. At first, everything is good. I pick W up, we grab lunch, and hit up a smoke shop along the way. While there, W is on his phone listening to voice messages from A and texting her. He then asks if we can go back to his place. Partly because he forgot something, but also asks if A can come along with us for the rest of our day out. I was irritated, but reluctantly and stupidly said sure. So we pick A up and go to Walmart so they can once again go shopping for clothes and more stuff for their house. Still trying to make the best out of the day, I help W pick out some clothes and try to engage in conversation, but I notice he and A continue to cut me off mid-sentence to have their own private conversation. Eventually I just start trailing behind because I realize that I'm the third wheel in my own relationship. Once we get back to the car, each of them asked me what was wrong, but I was pretty much over it at that point. I cut the trip short and drove them back home. When W walked me back to my car, I pulled him aside and gently told him that I could not continue this relationship. It was the only day that we had seen each other that week, and he chose to give his attention to someone he spends every day with. He apologized and told me he never meant to make me feel like that. He also kept asking if there was any way we could work it out. I said that I didn't think there was a way, and point blank asked him if there was something going on with A. He denied it, said that I was the only woman for him, and that the reason she was so clingy towards him was due to her not having any friends. He also went on to say how she wasn't relationship material because she was messy and that she was bitchy. I'm not sure if I 100% believe this, to be honest. We ended things on maybe trying to be friends and taking some space from one another for a couple weeks. While I'm pretty sure I think I know the answer, I have some doubts if I overreacted or if there is anything to salvage at this point. Any advice is appreciated. When you said he doesn't drive his car much because the tag is expired, I instantly knew the kind of dude this was. Good job breaking this off. I'm sure it was difficult, but this is not the kind of dude you want to build a life with. So she's not relationship material because she's bitchy and messy, yet she's okay to live with? Nope. Good riddance. How TF did you last that long, good golly? You're not overreacting at all. It's just hard to goodbye to someone even if they're shitty. Don't beat yourself for not setting a boundary sooner. It's actually a good thing you let her come with you guys, so you get to see for yourself how he acts with her when unrestricted. You got to see it with your own eyes, so you don't have to second guess yourself. This isn't in your head. He likes her. You just check more relationship boxes for him. Don't settle for the scraps he's given you. One day you'll have someone who only craves you, and it's going to be such a light bulb moment, and you'll only regretting giving your current ex more time than he's worth. Move on for yourself. I would have drawn a hard line at living with a woman I don't even know. Also, he's 30. He sounds like such a loser having his girlfriend drive him around because of an expired tag. Fix the fucking tag and be an adult. Hey babe, can you drive me and my totally not fuckable roomie to Walmart and the smoke shop, please? You know my car tag is expired. Sad face. Come on. You did not overreact whatsoever, you definitely underreacted. I, 22F, want to break up with my boyfriend, 29M, because I think he just hates me? Update. Hi again, C. It's been 7 hours and I decided to plant my feet on the ground, be sturdy and break it off. He said horrible stuff as imagined, but in short, I told him I was unhappy with the way he treated me, the main issue being the way he talks to me, especially around doing things right around the house, that I'm lazy and I need to be better at cleaning. I make 1x more than him. He says positive reinforcement hasn't worked in a bit, so he resorts to treating me badly, making me cry and suffer so that I do as told. One example is one time I had left an empty Dolce Gusto coffee capsule in the sink instead of throwing it out, and instead of him throwing it out, he barged in the bathroom where I was mid-shit and stuffed the wet, soaking capsule in my hand. I cannot begin to explain how mad that made me. And to him that was how you learn to never do it again, so that I also never do that again. Yeah, I know. I'm a dumbass. So I told him, I don't want to live with a person like that, and, well, he snapped, because no one will love you like I do. In 10 years you're gonna remember me and see how I treated you better than anyone ever will. What are you, Chapel Roan? And well, bunch of other things. So now the house will be left to me while he goes and tries to survive in a working holiday in Japan. Wish him luck, he's gonna need it. Thank you to everyone. Every single one of you that even read past the title. I was scared about posting here, but all I needed was a collective telling me to do better, and I'm proud of myself for taking the first step. Hope you guys are too, love. Underscore 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 underscore. Hi, I'm not used to talking even to close friends about my situation, so I'm using this as a last resort to get it off my chest. Also, I don't use Reddit, so this would be my throwaway, like you guys call it. My boyfriend and I have been dating on and off for around 2 years, and in our first year of coming back together after a bit, I decided to move in with him. So, we've been living together for around a year now. We've broken up various times while we lived together, Once we actually had like a big fight. We separated rooms in our house, and we each got our own rooms, because I really care about personal space. That's it for context. In the SEA of things he's done, like pressuring me to lose weight, criticizing my way of cleaning, reading, enjoying anything. Last night there was one of those fights where I really went, why am I still here? We were watching TikTok, and a video came up of this trendy act where some Chinese dance school put together an oddly satisfying performance based on the tortoise and the hare, which went viral for being really well put together. So when the video pops up I say, oh wow, this video finally made it to your side of TikTok /. His TikTok is basically all gaming stuff, so he almost never gets to see stuff that has gone viral. And he asked what it was. I said it was just a performance of these kids dancing, but that at a certain point, it also becomes a critique of the Chinese school education, having the kids singing about the pressure they have from a very early age. He asks, wait, what are they criticizing? And I reply, they're singing at some point in the video, you could look up the lyrics. I recommend this because I know I could probably explain it and fuck it up at some point, and I don't want to say stuff I'm not sure about. And he tenses up and sighs. I get nervous because I thought I said something wrong, so I ask, did something happen? And he sighs again. I just hate how you never have anything remotely useful to say. I'm asking about this, which seems to be an important thing, an important topic, a country criticizing itself, and you have nothing to say about it, and tell me to look it up myself. It's insane how you only care about stupid, dumb topics like random influencers and random things you find cute, and never something actually important. I am shocked but not disappointed as always, and stand up to take a breather. I say, why do you insult me like this? His replies are always, it's not an insult if it's true. I'm talking about facts. I can't get him to understand that the fact that he's calling my likings dumb is an insult, and even if he would be right, it still hurts. Every time I brought it up he repeated the same. It's not an insult if it's true. And he said, if you don't like it, be better or break up with me. For a bit more context, a couple weeks ago we had another argument. I don't remember how it started. All I know is I told him I wanted to break up, that I felt trapped and unsatisfied, and that I needed to change this, and he accepted. Said we could act like roommates again, separate values, and keep living here until the lease is done. Minutes later he calls me in bed to cuddle, and basically sweet talks me into staying with him, saying, life will be hard if we split up, which to me sounds like, I will have it hard without you giving me your side of the money every month. Last night I also said I wanted to talk to him about these issues, because I have no other friends to talk to about my love life, and he said, well, because they all say I'm such a bad guy, right? So you don't want to hear everyone bootlicking you. Which again, sounds like they're all going to tell you the truth about me. I don't know what to say anymore or what to do. Everything I do and say is an issue for him, and I only beat myself down every day for it. Listen to your brain and leave. This is not what it feels like to be with the right person. I want you to break up too. As someone who is in the same situation but child included, leave. He just sees you as half the bills, and if you feel like he hates you, it's because he does. Once the respect is out of the window, there's no going back. He will always disrespect you. For now it's just with words. Take his advice of being better, and leave his rude ass. I had to stop reading halfway. That's not love. You should break up and find someone that values for who you are. I'm a boyfriend, 2.5 years in, and if I treated my girl like that, it would literally break my heart. He's using you for bills and sex. Move on. I would not treat a stranger as poorly as he treats you. Truly, I speak to shop assistants with more respect and care. You deserve somebody who is considerate of your needs, wholeheartedly enjoys your company, and happily listens to what you have to say. When you finally get rid of this man, you will feel a huge weight being lifted. Maybe not right away, but the feeling of relief and freedom will come. You have your whole life ahead of you. Don't waste any more time on a manipulative bully. My M34 girlfriend, 32F, of 9 years cheated. I will try to keep this short. If another subreddit is the place to go, and if I'll miss any important details out. I, 34 male, and my girlfriend, 32 female, have been together for 9 years. I am now considering leaving her, but I cannot make up my mind. And TBF, maybe I don't need to make up my mind right now. Only 24H after I found out about things. Long story short, 3 years ago, we had a threesome with another guy, unfortunately. I set limits for the night, and the limits were held, long story short, only kissing and oral, no PIV. The night after this happened, we were all together again. We were on a trip with several others. And eventually I went to bed. In hindsight, I should have insisted on her coming with me. But yeah, it turns out they made out after I went to bed. This ate this guy up, and he eventually told me, many months after. I confronted my girlfriend with it, and the explanation shifted from something like it was okay to make out the day after because they had oral the day before, and to being scared of the consequences and being drunk. I guess I kinda moved on from that. This guy says she said it was a shame they had nowhere to go, as in a bed. She says she doesn't remember this. Last year we bought my childhood and dream home together. We have agreed on trying to get pregnant and build our future together. Earlier this year, we had a conversation about the phenomenon of being fascinated by someone else. We were both agreeing on that during a life that would happen. Many years ago, I kind of felt this towards someone, and my girlfriend asked about it at the time, and I said no to being attracted to her. But I guess I kinda was. Or I was fascinated, I am not really sure. Nevertheless, nothing ever happened, and we weren't on the emotional affair thing as far as I can see either. At this point in the conversation, my girlfriend mentions that she had felt this thing with a coworker. I didn't think that much of it. The guy now has another job. During this conversation, I asked my girlfriend, is anything had happened with this coworker? And she said no. She now says she don't remember me asking, almost leading me to not knowing. But I think I know. Yesterday, I saw a meant-to-be, funny video on TikTok that just led me back to the threesome thing, and I had to ask her if something had ever happened with anyone else while we were together, ever. She then said yes. She and the coworker had kissed, once, after a workplace party. Last year. In other words, before I asked her if anything had happened, and she denied. She had told the coworker she needed to tell me, but the coworker asked her to leave him out of it as far as she could, seeing that his own relationship couldn't handle that. So she did. She mentioned about feeling somewhat in love, and then about cutting ties. She just left out the kissing. As far as contact goes after all this, they tried to normalize it, but I know they have been talking for hours, apparently about work situations, which they did also before all this, working close. Also after this, and that he has asked her if they can continue to talk. She said that if that were to happen, then everyone would need to know everything, as in all four agreeing. LMAO. They have sent a lot of messages. When I asked to see them, she said she deleted everything pre-July this year because she wanted to forget about it all, but admitted that they had written that they were fond of each other. I feel so shit now I cannot even write this post in a good way. And if this wasn't enough, we just found out that a major part of the renovations we have done on the house isn't up to standards, and we have filed a complaint which may or may not go our way, against a plumbing company. No matter what, this whole thing is going to cost us a lot of time and a lot of money, and making a sale of the house right now much, much more difficult. And now this. As stupid as this sounds, and I know a lot of you maybe will advise me to dump her, I am now wondering what I should do, and to be honest, I am torn. Things has not been going great between us lately, her being depressed, resulting in me doing almost everything at home, and so forth. This was really not what we needed. Too long did not read. Girlfriend of many years cheated, and just found out. I do not know what to do. Last night I thought, well, it ain't that bad. And today I woke up thinking that we need to break up. That is how torn I am. I cannot see straight. Edit. Need to add that I kind of feel that her not telling me because of his relationship couldn't handle it make me feel that she puts the other people's relationship over ours. I told her this, and she says it was a whole thing, she not thinking that just a kiss should break up two relationships, as in also ours, not only theirs. So she's a cheater and trickle-truther in multiple instances and doesn't respect you, your boundaries, or your relationship. Is that really what you want to sign yourself up to for the rest of your life? Y'all are too old to be acting like this. Break up with her and be with someone that wants you and only you. The amount of disrespect that you can take baffles me. She will keep cheating on you, mate. I have my opinion that cheaters can change, but, and it's a big but, they can only change with different partners, and once they have realized for themselves how bad it is. In your case it happened twice, that you know of. At this point you shouldn't care if she is depressed or if she doesn't clean shit. You need to get your life back together and send her to the streets. Sorry, someone who doesn't respect/love you doesn't deserve to be near you. This woman is an incredibly immature 32-year-old. Find a woman, not someone stuck being a girl. You accepted to have a threesome with your girlfriend and another guy, and now you complaining. Your relationship was doomed from that day. Grow up. People just don't understand the meaning of What do you expect when you let the devil in the house? My guess is she has done more than takeout with the threesome partner, and you also set the precedent that it's okay for her to do so. That's what happens when you are the cool guy that is down to share his gal. Shorty up. You are cooked. Get to the gym and stick to monogamous spirited women. I'm curious. Whose idea was the vacation threesome? Yours or hers? If it was hers, you are even extra cooked. If it was yours, well, that's cooked too, and you are living with the consequences.